What is going on, friends, family, Romans, countrymen, etc., etc.? Spoot from Port Misery Gaming, SINoALICE Royal Creator Program. That's me and other people. Man, it's fun. Everybody's so cool. So, we have another pre-Valentine's banner, pre-slime banner, that has been changed from JP. We got Snow White Gunner, and we're getting a redo of the back alley banner with Reality Red Riding Hood, which, man, they are trying to pull crystals out of nowhere, guys and gals. So let's take a look. I'll show you what the difference is first. So in Global, Snow White Gunner at level 10, no Arcana. Level 10, no Arcana. Level 10 gets +1 cost. In JP, it was just HP 50. So I think a possible design thing that they have noticed is that a lot of times the level 10 is like nobody that 50 HP ain't doing nobody no good. If we saw more older classes updated this way, I'd be pretty cool with it. But we don't know, you know, we don't know if that's going to be a thing going forward or if it's just a thing to make sure ye old credit cards swipe. So it's a gunner, so it's primarily magic defense until you get to like the second and third tier of Arcana, where it gets like a little bit of both. But you get 100 magic attack, you get 700 magic defense with Arcana. So if you are having problems with ye old magic attack killing you softly, gunners are usually pretty good to invest in. As far as her weapon goes, we have the Crossbow of Justice. It's a tier 3 attack, increases magical defense by a small amount. It's a DC 1. It is sub 5k stats. None of this should surprise anybody. Class weapons tend to either be really, really good or right at this range. Although +1 cost on a class across the board is unfortunately really good, so I may toss in a couple and hope for the best. So we also have the Book of Lessons. It's an RM2 replenish magic. It's got a tier 3 2 stat 1.5 target book with 5200 stats. This is actually a pretty good book, unfortunately. So it's both attacks down on possible 2 targets, and replenish magic 2 moderately reduces SP consumption. So when you cast a weapon, you have a chance of casting it for less. That's a big deutery dealy. So another Sork tome, unfortunately, before the collab, that is probably worth taking a look at. I don't know if you need to go deep on it, but making sure they can't hit nothing seems to work out pretty well, although defense is rated a little higher. We have the Headhunter Scythe. It is a tier 3 up to 2 target, 5144 stats at 80 at L. It has anti-magic damage barrier, so you can moderately increase your own magic defense while you're attacking. That one's less useful than some of the other ones just because it doesn't immediate, like, if you go up against physical defense, it literally means nothing. But the Roar of Protection also increases your magical defense, so, like, this particular polearm is, like, really, really good against what are those things called? Magic attackers. Yeah. The only downside is, like, the stats are really even. So, like, the magic attack you get off of it isn't insanely high comparatively. So, it's fine. We are getting Griffin, finally. This is your second shot at getting a Poppy. So, this banner is pretty decent. It's got a Uplifting Chant 3. It also has a decent PvE ability, which I don't know how many others have. So if you're over 70% HP and you get dunked on by like a conquest boss or something, you survive with 1 HP. So you can kind of cheese some PvE content with the dude. He's pretty useful, and Uplifting Chant Poppy is still being used, although he is not the backbreaker that he used to be. But you got another shot at it. This not being a step banner, I think, hurts this one a lot. Otherwise, this would be a great banner. I would have actually pulled on this one just to go for the class or the nightmare. We do have the shovel, as it is so leveling referred to as. This is Red Riding Hood Reality or Alternates Flaming Shovel. This is the shovel that has Roar on it, so it's P-Attack debuff 2, up to 2 targets, and it's got right at about 5,000 stats. As far as reality weapons go, this is one of the better ones. This is still used everywhere. It's still in JP strats, so any weapon with a Roar effect and that does more than one thing tends to be very, very powerful. Just because the 1.5 effect with any amount of proc, like, if this were a Dauntless Courage 2 weapon, it would be one of the best weapons in the game. Outside of its, like, pole arm counterparts, you know. So, this is going to be the other banner that comes up tomorrow. If you don't have Shovel and you are hunting down, like, the hammer from the other banner, you might be able to get away with sparking it or pitying it if you wanted to. There's so many traps here, and unfortunately a lot of them are good traps, but it's kind of having this many decisions in a short amount of time with not really a whole bunch of crystals to back it up is a little rough. The class getting updated to have a cost is very, very important. The Sork book is really good. The Scythe you could probably skip on, but the Nightmare is decent. And then, as another banner that's just floating around, you've got the complete redo of the Red Riding Hood one. So you've got Shovel sitting in a pile of the rest of that one. You can go back and check the other video that I did on it to kind of give you a rundown of what else is in it. But it's just... it's kind of crazy. There's a lot going on. But that's it. The class is almost unskippable. The book is really good. The Nightmare is really good. And we have a secondary banner that's got one of the best hammers in the game on it. You have to look at your coffers and see if it's worth it. Obviously, if you're not a physical attacker, you can get away skipping a lot of these things. Unfortunately, the Gunner class is really strong. But if you're going to pity something, the class by itself isn't bad. It's just not being a step-up banner really, really hurts it in my eyes. So, for the Red Riding Hood, the redo banner, I would say the hammer's pretty much a must-pull, and everything else is kind of minorly approachable. The Snow White Gunner banner, if you're a Sork, you might want to throw a couple in to see if you can get the book. Maybe. Like, it's going to be an expensive couple of weeks. And if you're still on the slime train, you can always pity these with February medals. Just be careful. Don't spend more than you've got, because we don't know what's on the slime banner. We might have a couple of spoilers for you in a week or two, but there's just talk about like sort of a slow rollout for the collab, just to kind of, you know, hype people up and get people excited. But we don't know for sure, so don't take that as gospel. There's a lot of talk going on between POKELABO and a lot of us creators. So POKELABO is working like real hard, especially with the servers exploding the other day. Like, we went from having an active conversation with a couple of them to all hands on deck, this has to get fixed. So big props to them. In the description, I am still leaving the new TIMESLOT doc and the giveaway. So 50 people a month will be giving 100 crystals. It's you get one entry per account, so you could watch every video you wanted and enter it more than once, but they're only going to draw an account. They empty out all the duplicates, so don't worry too much about that. Make sure to mention us in the video. They might be changing that for the month upcoming, just because it's very easy to kind of cheat the system and just do it. So we may have like a cool password system or like a cheat code that you have to decipher between a couple of us. There's a lot of stuff. We're trying to get the community a little more involved and give you guys kind of a game to play while you're doing it, maybe. Aside from the game you're already playing, you know, so. All right, that's it from me. I'm going to go take a nap. Good luck, everybody.